Why are you so red, man? What's with you and being so red?
I'm just noticing your arms. What happened?
Yeah, I got roasted at the pencil sharpening. I feel like it's the first day that I've been outside for this is quite a tan line. I don't know if people can see.
We're rolling. We're rolling.
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this. Stop this.
I've got plenty of time. I have nothing else going on today.
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now.
We are here on the Wedge Live podcast. I'm your host, John Edwards. We're at Open Streets on Lyndale Avenue, and we're joined by Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Thank you for being here.
Good to be here with you.
So you used to be a normal person, right?
Are you saying I'm not a normal person?
I feel like you've reached a level where you rightfully require a security detail, right?
I think that still makes you a normal person.
I just feel like there's a lot of things maybe you have lost
Yes.
in your life.
Yes.
Been taken away from you, but just to
Most
begin
days,
with,
yes.
do you have memories of Lyndale Avenue from your life in Minneapolis? Favorite things on Lyndale Avenue that you remember back when you were a normal person?
One of the first places I went to here was the CC Club.
Were you a frequenter, or you just got invited once and never went back?
I used to go there a lot with a lot of my friends, and then the VFW they do karaoke night a couple of times a week, and so I would go with friends to do karaoke.
Do you miss that kind of stuff? Can you do that kind of stuff anymore?
I do, yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. I'm wrong.
It's a little uncomfortable for the people that are with me, but I can still go.
Because people
There'll
stop.
just be people who will stop, and come and talk. Yeah.
Mostly
and interrupt your conversation.
Good reactions.
It is a good reaction, yeah.
So let's do a quiz, a Wedge Live themed quiz to begin. What's your favorite form of traffic calming? I'm going to give you 4 options.
Okay.
Medians, pedestrian bump outs, 4 to 3 lane conversion, or traffic circles. What do you like the best?
Traffic circles are entertaining.
Okay, you like watching people navigate them?
Yes, or watching myself navigate. Because it's always touch and go. The GPS directions on how to navigate sometimes do not correlate with actually how you're supposed to. Yeah. So it's it's a little mind fuck.
Is anything good happening in Washington, D.C.? I am just constantly depressed by the news. And it's beyond like the federal occupation we lived through in Minneapolis. Feels like nothing good is happening. Can you give us good news?
We recently passed the War Powers Resolution. I think it was our 5th try to remind the president that he does not have the power to get us into war in regards to Iran. And so that's one good thing that we could be excited that it happened. But we're also a majority in the waiting. So there's a lot of excitement. Hey. So there is that excitement of real accountability coming from Congress after we take power.
Is the Senate gonna go along with that?
I think so. It's looking good for us, and we are, I believe, going to have a couple of senators who are, going to get Schumer into a really good shape.
Okay. You attended the pencil sharpening yesterday. Was
Yes.
that your first time doing that?
It was my first time doing that, and it was so much fun. There was a marching band. There were like gazillion people. There was an incredible DJ. It was just a lot of fun. What did you think?
I go every year and I'm a little jaded at this point.
Yeah.
It feels too long, right? There are too many musical numbers, and I want to get right to the
But I
pencil
also had a
sharpening.
question, since you go every year. Why do they have to continue to sharpen? Is the pencil being utilized in some way to need the sharpening?
You know, it's.
Have you ever wondered that?
It's part of the joke, Ilhan.
Okay.
You get jokes. Did you know it gets shorter every year?
Does it? That's my
It
question.
does. It gets shorter
Because
every
again,
year.
this was my first year, and then when people said it gets sharpened every year, because I was there to see it being sharpened, I was confused on how and why it needs to be sharpened continuously.
Eventually, it's going to be a little stubby pencil.
Oh,
And then it won't
is
happen
that the
anymore.
plan?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I needed to read up on it. That was my mistake.
Do you remember at the SD61 convention, you getting physical with me, putting your hands on me? You were very hands-on as a candidate. No candidate I have ever been to a convention has ever put their hands on me to organize me into the correct position.
Yes.
Why were you so hands-on that day?
The reason I was so hands-on was that usually we have multiple conventions on the same day that I have to pop in and out of. And I was done with all the other conventions, and I realized that it was my own convention. I am a CD61 resident. I could stay and actually participate in the sub-caucuses, which is something I haven't done in like 8 years, so I was super excited to be very hands-on. So that's why I was putting my hands on you, just making sure that you were in the right sub-caucus. I didn't want you to have your credibility be challenged in case you ended up in the wrong sub-caucus. Like an Angie Craig, yay, ICE sub-caucus. I didn't want that for you.
Thank you for keeping me out of the wrong sub-caucus.
I was trying to help you.
Thank you. One of the things I am so concerned about, but I feel like is kind of flying under the radar because there's so much bad stuff happening, is healthcare. People have had their insurance subsidies cut. We have Medicaid cuts coming. Hospitals at risk of closure. Can you make me feel better that people won't die unnecessarily for not having healthcare?
I wish I could. But the reality of the healthcare cuts that will fully be realized in the next couple of months, that were passed under the big ugly bill, are literally going to kill people. People are going to die. We're going to see rural hospitals close. We are going to see community healthcare centers close. We are going to see even our big hospitals have economic challenges where they might not be able to provide the level of service people need. And we're going to see a lot of people just not going, and a lot of people who need emergency help that will not get. So it's a very devastating thing. That's why the election in this November is really important, because if we are fortunate enough, love you too. Thank you. If we're fortunate enough to win the House and the Senate, we can literally claw back those cuts and make sure people are made whole.
Okay, so you think if we can take the Senate, the House, it's possible
that we can force the president to take back those cuts. Yep.
All right, that's somewhat good news. How are you feeling about our chances?
Very optimistic.
You have to say that. Right?
I mean, everything's trending our way, so.
Let me see. What do you do when you're really stressed out about the way things are going? What do you do to relax? Is there a book or a movie you've enjoyed recently? A place that you like to go to be alone or take a walk? What do you really enjoy?
Well, we have a big dog, so we go on long dog walks. Teddy is like 95 pounds, yellow lab, so he likes big, long walks. A book we're currently reading that I guess is also like a reminder that things can always get worse is the Soccer Wars. And it's a book about the different conflicts that have taken place in the Southern Hemisphere.
So I was gonna suggest, I tried to get Keith Ellison. I talked to Keith Ellison today, and I was like, you're a top law enforcement official in the state of Minnesota. Can we do the thing in the police shows where a cop like commandeers a vehicle only for a bike? Like I say, hey, this is the Attorney General, can he borrow your bike? And he refused to do it.
Why?
Why is he so careful? We thought it would be like unethical.
Maybe he was too hot and didn't want to ride a bike.
I'm worried about. He's not playful.
He's not playful.
He's not playful.
He's serious. I mean, I think in order to be the top law enforcer of this estate, you got to be a little serious.
Are you in a position to ride a bike today?
No, my dress will not allow for it.
All right, you are playful, but it's just a clothing issue.
It is a clothing issue, yes. Yes, I did not dress appropriately for a bike ride.
No skits. Sorry, no skits from today's interviews. Well, thank you for joining me for this conversation at Open Streets.
Thank you, really appreciate it.
Ilhan Omar is running for re-election this year, so
August 11th.
very vital election.
You really don't have a private booth for this? I just feel like people are going to keep coming up to me and wanting to say hi.
There will be no interruptions of this interview. You're just a guy, Eric Harris Bernstein.
You don't know how many people I paid.
You're just a guy in a safari hat with a mustache.
That's right. You're right. I am just a man of the people. That's a good point.
I'm worried I may have upset Ilhan by saying she's not a normal person anymore.
Well, the truth hurts.
Sorry, Ilhan.
She is still a normal person. She likes to bowl. She has a bowling fundraiser every year. Very relatable. Who doesn't bowl, you know? She bowls just like us.
Everyone is tuned out by now.
Yeah.
And the final guest of today is Eric Harris Bernstein, the Minneapolis Board of Estimate and
Hi,
Taxation.
everyone. Thanks for having me, John.
Somebody brought up an idea on the podcast recently related to you and your work with taxation.
Yeah. Well, top of everyone's mind.
I got to talk to Eric about this because you're my taxation maven. The idea of clawing back tax cuts to the super rich in the big beautiful bill,
At the state level?
is that a real thing that can be done?
At the state level or the
Yeah,
local level?
State level.
Well, I mean, theoretically, so at the city level, we cannot create an income tax or a wealth tax. We are very limited in the taxes that we can levy and even the ways we can change the parameters of those taxes. So, okay, I waved to people 4 times. That was the first time.
Really waving at
No,
you?
that was the first time I was actually.
Fake
You
waves.
didn't pick up on it that I was doing a bit.
I
was
knew
just
you were
waving.
doing fake waves. I'm not looking at the people who are not
But that
waving
was
at you.
Kyle. He did say he did what?
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we cannot create an income tax or a wealth tax here at the city level. The state would have to give us permission to do something like that. So we can set the levy, the property tax levy, but we can't even adjust characteristics of the property tax itself. So there's a commercial rate and a residential rate, and we can't even change those rates. So we have very limited power, which is why my role in the BET is so important / specific, that it really is all about how much the levy increases to determine how much we can actively increase city revenue.
But in your role as a pundit, though,
Yeah,
is it
in my
something
role
the
as
state
a-
can
as
do?
a- yes.
Aisha Gomez, can she do a thing where the state claws
Yes.
back all that money? Because hospitals are closing, people are having their health care
Right.
slashed.
The whole system's
so that
falling
very
apart all
wealthy
around
people
us. Yeah.
can get loads of money. Is
Yeah.
there really a way
Yeah,
to say,
absolutely.
we're going to do a little thing and take all that money back for the state that the federal government is just giving to rich people?
So the question is, can Minnesota decide that we have values different than the rest of the country, that we want a different distribution of public resources, a different tax burden, that we want people who have more to contribute more? And the answer is yes, we can do that. And yes, that's the decision that we've been making collectively for decades, if not centuries. We have always had a more progressive and a more robust tax system than most other states, because those are our values. We have those egalitarian values, and we know that when we invest in the things that we all need, like education, healthcare, a clean environment, that we have a stronger economy and more general prosperity. And so we've already done that with our income tax, which is, as many conservatives will complain about, a little bit higher than most other states. Some states don't even have an income tax. And we should do more of that. We can and we should do more of that. And there are ways to tax wealth more specifically. And in fact, in 2023, we created a surtax on what's called net investment income, which is income from dividends, capital gains, those kinds of things, a special surtax on those forms of income above $1 million. So that's a direct response to all the tax cuts at the federal level, because if you don't know, Republicans and Democrats have been cutting taxes for the rich for successively for 50 years, basically, at the federal level.
So is my understanding correct? We can effectively nullify the revenue parts of the big beautiful bill on the state level if we chose to.
It's not to say that there aren't huge challenges with that. I mean, first of all, the political hurdle of getting buy-in on that, even on the Democratic side.
You just say we're nullifying Trump's big beautiful bill.
Yes.
Everything
John,
that
that's
did,
right.
we're
and
undoing it on the
good
state
arguments
level.
that work at Lyndale open streets always win at the state. So I don't know what's been holding us up.
Is that not a good thing? Good argument? If we had a trifecta, we're just
yes.
undoing strictly the big beautiful bill.
Obviously, I think that anyone who is running for office under the Democratic platform should be unequivocally for higher taxes on the rich and greater investment in our public goods.
But it's not even raising
services.
taxes on the rich. It's wiping out the gains they got from something that is so deeply unpopular.
The technical part of this discussion, the slightly technical part of the thing to consider is that when the federal government cuts taxes, it sets a new floor or ceiling or whatever you want to call it. Not a ceiling, but a floor. And everyone else is the business interests, all the powerful interests aligned on the other side that give tons of money to politicians in both parties.
It's a new era, Eric Harris Bernstein. We hate those people now.
I completely agree, and I think that any Democratic politician who's not running on taxing the rich and raising revenue for our collective needs to solve collective problems is a fool and missing the moment.
We got to claw
Deeply
back.
missing the moment. But I was at the Humphrey Mondale dinner the other night, and there were some great things said, there were some great speeches, but there is not consensus on the issue about raising taxes, and I think that if you're listening to the Wedge Live podcast, get out there and be tax positive and talk about how our tax system has changed over time and talk about the underinvestment in our communities.
People are going to die. Lack of healthcare.
Hospitals closing, no ambulance services. All the Medicaid cuts are going to devastate our public and our private healthcare systems. And people, but I also want folks, and I said this along the campaign trail, to think slightly beyond the devastating, scary things that we're facing, but also we should be a society, the richest country in the history of the world. We should have parks, we should have dance classes in school and music programs in school, and we shouldn't be begging for crumbs from the table of the billionaires and the corporations. This is what so many people know in their bones, but we right now do not have a political consensus strong enough in the DFL to win those kinds of policies at the state level.
It's not strong enough in the DFL?
No, not yet. No, I don't think so.
Just to wipe out the ill-gotten gains and the cuts that are going to deny people health care.
Is there a consensus within the DFL that we should undo the harms of Trump's tax bill? Yes. Will it be a fight to win those progressive or broad tax increases to fund public goods in a legislative session in a year from now or a little less than a year from now? It's gonna take all of us raising our voices very loudly.
Because it is the exact same conversation, right? It's not like I have one position on one of these things and a different on another.
Well, that's how you feel. You're saying marry the federal tax cuts to what we need to do at the state.
Obviously the same issue.
Well, it's
the reason we don't have health care is because all the money was given away. We need to take the money back and spend it on the health care.
What happens is at the Capitol, people say, yes, we're totally with you, but if we raise taxes on the rich or corporations in Minnesota, then our businesses are less competitive than they are in Wisconsin or South Dakota. And so that's the fight that we're always locked up in. And my point has always been talking about that infinitesimal margin of a tax rate on a corporation making billions of dollars and how much money in investment do we get. That's such an absurd thing to argue about when, to your point, people are losing health care, people are potentially dying in the streets. Our environment is obviously deeply wounded by how we've been treating it for centuries. We don't have the shared spaces that we need, which is why we love open streets, because it reminds us of how much community there is when we take some public space back. But we hold ourselves in this position of extreme scarcity because we do not have, yet quite the strong politics that we need behind the value of public investment and collective action. And that's been my entire career in my work and in my professional or my political life. That point is what drives me. And so I agree with you 100%, but we need more allies, we need more tax positivity, and we need more positive cases for what we can do when we invest in our collective needs.
Should we teach tax positivity in schools?
We should definitely teach tax positivity in schools and do more in basic civics and teaching what I would call a more neutral examination of society. I can't believe I got to do it. I got to talk about John Kenneth Galbraith real quick because I've been on a serious John Kenneth Galbraith kick. He was an economist in the mid 20th century, and he basically said, for all of human history, we've operated with this material scarcity, that we don't have enough food, enough clothing, enough shelter for all the people that we have. And then in the last 100 years or so, that changed. And there's increasingly ample food. Well, at his time, it was a couple decades ago, but now it's been a longer time. There's actually enough food and clothing and shelter produced by society to give everything they need. The problem is not production. The problem is where distribution and where we channel our collective social resources. He was writing that in the 1950s, and here we are 70 plus years later, and we still have crumbling schools next to huge mansions. We still have a public healthcare infrastructure that can barely stay alive. While, hey Mark, how's it going? Hey, this is my neighbor. Mark, I gotta talk to you about something about the yard, but not right now because we're doing an interview. But basically saying that we keep waiting for economic growth to solve all of these problems that are at their core not about like the production of goods, but about where we put our collective resources, and that no matter how much economic growth we have, we're never going to have a good healthcare system or good schools until we make the decision to put more of our collective wealth into those public basic needs, those public goods and services.
Can we get you to say something that will make the audience of far left wackadoo socialists mad at you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I got it. I mean, I say this all the time to them though.
Data centers.
Oh no.
Are you pro data centers? We're trying.
I thought you were just gonna let me pick.
No, you don't pick. I pick. Data centers. This is a revenue question, Eric Harris Bernstein. You're the tax man. I'm
anti-AI. Okay. I am pro protecting the environment. I actually, at the Capitol, made a lot of points. Spent most of a session talking about how a tax break for data centers was taking money out of the general fund. That if you were going to have private investment in Minnesota, one of the most important benefits is that it generates revenue to invest in public goods and services. So I am very anti-AI, anti-big tech, all of these things. But I am probably a little bit less focused on the data center fight in Minneapolis than other fights in Minneapolis.
So no comment.
I'm not opposed to what they did. Wait, so it was 500,000 square feet?
I forget what the exact number was, but they had a size cutoff.
Yeah. It just, to me, it's not my, unless they're talking, okay.
I can't tell if they're talking about the kind of data centers people have in their mind when they're thinking about the big AI boom style.
Right, if they wanted to develop the Kmart site as a data center, I would chain myself to that fence with everyone else. Hell no. If they're putting servers in big empty buildings downtown, hi.
Hello.
Huge BET fan right there.
Yeah, not Eric Harris Bernstein.
Yeah, just the board itself.
Everyone's been waving at me.
If they're putting a bunch of servers in some of the big empty buildings downtown, and it's not like they're tapping a new aquifer to be there. Yeah. I do want to learn more about, could we manipulate our electricity rates to raise more revenue off of it?
I've
things
heard
like that.
things from council members like Schaefer and Palmisano, I think, have said things like, maybe it was Schaefer, that Minnesota is doing those things.
I don't know.
We have nothing to fear on the electricity side has been the argument from Schaefer because the state is going to regulate it correctly.
I don't know, and I trust the city council and defer to the city council 100% on at what point would they approve what projects. If you ask me, could I piss off the DSA left? And I would say on data centers, if I were going to piss them off, I'd just say it's not my top priority fight.
No comment. So what did you come here wanting to talk about? Because I'm not prepared for you. You begged to be on this episode. You saw who the first two guests were, and you're like, you got to have me
I thought Keith Ellison, Ilhan. Obviously, the third guest has got to be EHB.
We needed at least one mustache.
Yeah. No, I just always relish the opportunity to talk with you. We talk most Sunday nights, or often on Sunday nights on the Wedge Live emergency bike rides, but I can't get enough conversation. And I don't know, just celebrate open streets again. Like I said, I mean, it's, I think that this is the most powerful advertisement for how we need to take space back from cars. I think the amount of money, the amount of negative health impacts, and the amount of just like lost economic potential and human like connection potential that we suffer from all the space that we give to cars driving and parking is insane. I think it's making our city impossible to fund because we don't have as much housing as we could, we don't have as much business as we could, and we have to pay for more roads and more empty space. And so I think it's time to really start experimenting like with parklets. We've got to shrink streets down, we've got to widen the sidewalks.
There was a parklet boom. I don't know if this was before you were in Minneapolis. It felt like mid-2010s there was a parklet boom in the city, and I don't hear as much about that.
I'll be honest, I feel like there's a way in which we're stagnating and getting lapped. They close streets down full time in Anoka, and they have like a social district with no cars and open container, and it's popping there. And like, how can they have that in Anoka and we don't have that in Minneapolis?
Where are all these drunk people gonna park?
Well, that's the thing, they can't drive. It's perfect. And also, a lot of them were on motorcycles.
What could go wrong?
Where are they going to park? I don't know. The thing is, like, I think that's what is one of the core challenges, is that if you want a city that is built for pedestrians and a strong local economy, it does take time to get there, and it's not like overnight. So there is an adjustment period where people learn to walk, take the bus, bike, or they park a little further away.
This is like a 20-block stretch of crowds streaming by constantly.
It's amazing.
People found a way to get here. None of the street parking is accessible.
Yeah, right. There's really not great
here.
parking. And I will say, nice thing about open streets, it's not like World. Like, I live not far from here, and I was biking, walking around in the morning before I got here, and it's the streets are not packed. So I think a lot of people came here by alternative means of transportation. It's like at World, there's cars everywhere trying to park, but that was not my experience.
Did you go to the pencil sharpening?
I did I wanted to see what the crowd was like, and then I did a quick pass through. I didn't like stay and watch.
Ton of bikes.
Oh, huge number of bikes, and the water, the aquatic viewing.
Right, people in kayaks.
Was fun as well.
Traffic got snarled in East Isles. We don't have the infrastructure to support pencil sharpening in East Isles.
Do you agree that the pencil sharpening is compelling because it's about death?
Is it about death?
I think it's ultimately yes, because it's a tree that died and then was sort of reborn as the pencil, right?
And the pencil is also going to die because it gets
they're
shorter every year.
sharpening it. And so it's important because it's precious, because it's not forever, just like our lives.
It's not permanent.
I mean, because other than that, it would just be kind of silly, like, yeah, we like pencils, but I think the fact that they're sharpening it down is actually like kind of makes it really a poignant event.
I don't know if you took a poll of pencil attendees that they would know it was getting actually shorter. They would tell you it's probably the same height every year. They think it's going to go for it. They don't know. They're like little children who don't understand the pencil is dying.
They're like the prisoners strapped to the cave looking at the reflection of the light.
I don't get that.
No,
I don't get that.
Like
reference.
it's like a famous philosophical, like someone. I don't even remember whose cave. It's like Plato's cave or something like that. It's not Plato. Is it? Whatever. I saw a graph of how high the pencil is, and it was like 19'6", and then it was like 18'8", and then it was like.
Who's doing this data journalism?
I don't know, but they only took off 3 inches this year. So they're getting. I think the owners have realized that they're leading a death cult, and they're trying to milk it. I feel like I should ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What's the most interesting part of your conversations? Reflecting on your conversations with Ilhan and Keith this morning? What jumped out?
I mean, I don't like talking to elected officials, present company excluded, because they don't say anything interesting. It's not that they're not smart, it's not that they're not giving the right answers. I don't say anything new
Yeah.
because that's risky.
Yeah.
So I accused Ilhan of being like not a normal
Right,
person.
right.
Maybe it was interesting that she didn't seem
She
to
didn't like that.
me saying that.
Yeah. Are there any politicians that you hear talk that still say things where you're like, wow, they're kind of still saying interesting things?
You, because you're so low ranking, there's no risk.
Because I'm so
You have nothing to lose.
incredibly low ranking.
Who else? Who else is good?
But like I meant more like in the national scene.
Who's saying things interesting nationally? I don't know.
Even with my pathetically low rank and regard, public regard, I do feel some level of like I can't just say like whatever comes to mind, because if I'm wrong and someone who knows what they're actually talking about like sees that I just like spouted off on some topic that I'm not.
So you're feeling that pressure more?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before you were just spouting off.
Oh my God, just pop. Yeah, and I think now it's like I've been like the police overspending. I've been very attuned to what is happening with the police budget before I was elected, and then especially since Metro Surge, because I started hearing the numbers about their additional overtime during Metro Surge, and I was very engaged with Elliot Payne and others about making sure that MPD got the data to the city council, that they answered the right questions, that we understood what they did, who got standby pay, who got overtime, how many hours. But I have been wanting to make like a video about it for like 2 months, but I just, every time I'm like about ready to write a script, I'm like, well, I want to know like what this person thinks or that person thinks, or like, and I mean, that's a little bit, I just need to get over that, but it is a little bit just like the stakes of me saying something about that are higher because I actually have some amount of responsibility over the budget now. And if I'm wrong about something, or if I burn significant relationships with people at the city because I'm critical of the wrong thing for the wrong reason, then they would be right to be unhappy with me.
They'll feel like we could tell this guy true things, and then he's gonna like twist it later on social media and whip people up against us. So we can't even tell him true things anymore.
And that's another layer of it, is like it's very important to me to have a good relationship with the mayor, because he is the mayor and his success is going to be our success ultimately. And I think he's open to partnering with like a wide range of people on a wide range of things, despite the, like a history with the left and whatever. But like, so if I want to talk about something, I kind of want to talk to the mayor about it first, because he might have a much more informed perspective. And if I just shoot a shot at like something that I'm critical of that he's ultimately responsible for, then he would rightly be annoyed. Like, this guy's an elected official and he's acting like he's just some troll on Twitter.
How frequently are you talking to the mayor?
Not frequently, but we have talked a couple times, and I have to say he's been like very like responsive, communicative, and gracious. I will say the last conversation we had, I followed up on something we had talked about. He said, thanks for following up. Here's like that. And then he said something that made me think of, big picture things that I'm interested in that are not that important for him to hear about. And I sent him like a long text about, yeah, that's interesting, blah, 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 blah.
And you're one of those people.
And then like, obviously the correct response was, thanks, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, are you mad that you got cut out of the $1.4 million couples counseling between the mayor and the city council? Like, why isn't the BET in this group?
At least as an audience, yeah. I mean, Steve and I, we've got needs. We've got hopes and dreams. Is it 1.4?
1.4 million. I think it's one of those up to and over a certain period of years. So it's not like 1.4 million this year. It's through 2028, I think.
Yeah.
So still a lot of money.
If it helps, it'll be a worthwhile investment.
Will it help? I feel like the incentives to do politics are so extremely high. People are not going to not do politics, and this is what our politics is now. It's spouting off on social media and getting people riled up and not necessarily getting along with...
I have to believe that people like have things they want to deliver for the city, and that if we see success in certain places, that will become more compelling than I think we're stuck in a little bit of a cycle of the points we can score are detracting from our enemies. And I think that like if there was a vision of like forward progress on like the housing we want, the community spaces we want, the economic activity we want, like maybe like that could be a source of joint agreement, which is honestly part of why to me the data center thing was not my top thing, because I was like, is the average person going to know if there's a bunch of servers on several floors of a big building downtown? Maybe it is a political. I understand the political salience of AI and big tech right now, and the importance of showing our values. But it's like, to me, I'm just like, what can we fucking do that people will feel like connected to, that will make people feel hopeful about the direction of the city and believe in the city government's power to positively influence their lives. That's what I want. I want examples of that, and I think those could be small things. So if the council can get in their couples counseling and come up with agree on some good things, that would be money well spent. I'm just noticing your arms. What happened?
Yeah, I got roasted at the pencil sharpening. I feel like it's the first day that I've been outside for this is quite a tan line. I don't know if people can see.
Wow. My God.
Look at that.
Well, it's a jump start to your summer bronze.
Ilhan even teased me about it. She was like, "You're so red, man. Why are you so red, man?"
But you're out and about. I don't understand. Like, the sun should not have been such a surprise to your skin.
The pencil sharpening is too long.
Oh, it was
yesterday.
yesterday.
Too long. Yeah, I have sunscreen on today.
Oh, okay.
I just need that one day of learning that you will get burned without it.
It is kind of good to get one minor sunburn a year. You know what I mean?
Is there anything else you would like to say before we?
I can't believe you let me go on so long. Honestly, I thought I was going to get like one question.
Well, I respect my other guest time. I know you have nothing else going on.
I got nothing going on. No, my friends walked by a while ago, and I'm so dedicated to our conversation. I'm just going to have to go chase them. All my friends, they're right off screen. Anything else? No. Thank you, listeners, for keeping John going. Wait, drive time. We need Wedge Live drive time. I want at least a weekly, if not a daily, show rotating. I think it's you, Taylor, and Josh are the base, and then you get
Josh is so boring right now. He's like a party official.
He's the straight man.
He says nothing.
Every good morning show has a straight man.
I'm not the straight man. I thought I was the straight man.
Well, but you are like a straight man as a host, but you're a leading man. Josh is the wry, like, commentary from the far back.
You know, I don't pay Josh, so I don't know.
Do you pay Taylor?
No, I don't pay Taylor either. But
the thing is, I honestly think Wedge Live Drive Time would be awesome. I would listen to it every morning or every day or once a week or whatever. And
Eric wants a daily show.
I would love to wake up to Wedge Live Drive Time.
It would just be babbling though. Like, I feel
are you not paying attention to the content universe, John? That's what it's all just filling.
You know how you were talking about, like, you don't want to be wrong about stuff? I kind of don't want to be talking for the sake of talking. And I'm not saying we have a high standard of quality here, but I feel like the quality would be degraded.
Weekly catch up on events with a loosely structured catch up on events with Josh and Taylor, and you get a couple of brief call-ins. You could easily put that together.
Okay, it sounds like work.
You do a lot of work that you don't have to do. And look at what you suffer.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I love all the candidate interviews are so useful. All of your perspectives, all the things you fight for and show up for, all the issues that you elevate. Wedge Live, I'm a ride or die.
Thank you, Eric Harris Bernstein.
Donate, keep this enterprise going. We need a Wedge Live clubhouse.
A daily show and a Wedge Live storefront for people to hang out.
Yeah.
We need to get in on the uptown real estate while it's depressed.
Yeah, look, obviously, I mean, prices should be dropping. Obviously, we know they aren't, which is the whole problem, but okay.
Eric Harris Bernstein, Minneapolis Board of Estimate and Taxation. This has been the Wedge Live podcast. I'm your host, John Edwards. Thank you for listening to this action-packed episode here on Lyndale Avenue, Open Streets.
Open Streets, baby!
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this.
what's going on today?
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now, 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 right now.